So I guess we'll get right into it. Ain't a reason to keep wasting. Ain't a reason to keep wasting time, right? Right. Get my damn phone. Did y'all see 846 from Dave Chappelle from last night to now? Anybody? Somebody? All of y'all? None of y'all? Anybody see it? What's good, Trap? What you up to, my boy? Darren said he didn't see it. Speaking of that, I'm gonna change something real quick. I'm gonna do this. If you haven't watched it, I implore you to watch it. No, I'm not gonna lie. I implore you to watch it. No, I didn't, and nothing much cleansed my body. You mean like you went through a cleanse or what? So, 846. He did Dave Chappelle did a little YouTube special. It's out on YouTube. You can find it. Partner with YouTube, did a little special. Comedy special. It ain't really comedy if you've seen it. You feel me? If you've seen it, you know. If not, then you can listen a little bit. But he did a comedy special, right? And I'm kind of taking the GMG sellout approach. And I know I don't have that big following. I know it's probably only 1 or 2 people in here listening. But oh damn well, speak my mind. If they see the VOD and get upset, oh well. They hop in here in the middle of it, oh well. It is what it is. He did a special, and he kind of talked about what's been going on, right? Simple and plain. Not too crazy. Let me get back over here. I feel like I'm gonna have to have this up during this. He did a special. Started talking about everything that's kind of going on. He kind of mentioned, excuse me. He kind of mentioned, well, he started talking about the George Floyd situation, right? I know we didn't talk about this so much, bro, and XYZ, but I mean, he finally said his piece. Well, no, actually, let me backtrack. I'm gonna skip down to one of the points he made, because he talked about some different stuff, and I'm gonna cover it for the most part. But then he talked about the idea of us wanting to hear from celebrities, right? And why are we trying to force celebrities to, speak their mind about the situation, about everything? How do they feel? We should hear them. Why are they being silent? Why are all these guys being silent? Why are these celebrities and athletes being silent? Why aren't they saying anything, right? Now, he goes on to say the reason why, he was talking about Don Lemon. And he was like, I was waiting on Don Lemon to say, why haven't we heard from Dave Chappelle? Why hasn't he said anything? But he didn't. Oh shit, I'm getting my ass beat. But he didn't say his name. I mean, he probably just wasn't thinking about it. It don't matter. But and he was like, has he not? He asked a question to the audience. Has he talked about this before? Which, if you know, he has often. Then he goes on and on and on. Basically gets to the point. What I'm trying to get to, what he said was, why do we need these celebrities to speak? To speak when the streets are speaking for themselves. We don't need nobody to speak. This is what he's saying. We don't need nobody to speak. The speaks are speaking out. They are speaking out. They are showing up, protesting, looting, rioting, whatever you want to may have you. But the streets are speaking out about this outrage and stuff that's going on in our communities, in our country right now. So he's like, We don't need these celebrities. Who really want to hear about a celebrity right now? And it's not even affecting them. So that's what he said. And he was like, who am I as a celebrity, as a damn comedian, who wants to hear a comedian overspeak what's going on in these streets and take the light away from the people in the streets? I mean, I bring that up first because I want to jump this off with anybody who heard me, and I played it in the voice. You can go do your research if you want, man. Trust me, I said it. That's kind of what I said before, right? Not in that tone. I didn't say it the way he said it, but I was like, why do we want to hear from these celebrities so bad? First off, we don't know what the hell they're doing. Like this guy who did a whole damn special. So we don't know what he's doing. Secondly, some of these people have already spoke about it all the time. Kendrick Lamar, why do we got to hear from him right now? He has about 3 or 4 albums solely based off what the fuck is going on right now in the community. Why the fuck he got to speak? Why? And if they want to protect their brand and take their time to speak, they should be allowed that. Why? Why should they be allowed that? Exactly what I said on Twitter, bro. It's facts. Some of these people have spoke about this their whole career. K-Dot has dedicated the vast majority of his career to this. So how we gonna jump on him talking about he ain't said nothing? Why are you looking to a rapper for? That's facts. They ain't helping you. Yeah, okay, you see J. Cole in the streets. And that whole week when J. Cole was in the streets, what did you see? J. Cole in the streets, marching and stuff. That's dope. That's cool, but who gives a fuck? He another person. And quite frankly, to these police, he just another nigga. Who cares? Fact, whole albums on this shit. Whole albums. K-Dot got whole albums. J. Cole got whole albums. Works of art dedicated to this shit. I don't need them to speak. They've already said enough. They've done enough. Dave Chappelle has spoke about this. He got whole specials on it. You just gotta get past the ha-ha-ha's and hear what the fuck he's talking about. Just like last night. It's the same thing as last night. But I'm glad he did that shit. I'm glad he did it. Because he was like, when they speak, like he said, who am I as a comedian, as a celebrity to it's not undermining, but now I speak and now I shed the light off of all these good people and young guys and whoever else that's in these streets putting in this work. The light gets averted from them and put on him. And he don't mean it that way, but that's just reality. Dude's smarter than you think. Some of these guys are smarter than you think. So that's my spiel about celebrities. I've already spoke on that before. So that's that. And that was kind of towards, not in the middle, but as he got started. He started off talking about obviously the George Floyd situation and seeing another man kneeling on another man's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. He talked about how he'll never forget that number because he was born at 8:46 a.m. That's a little trivia for you. But he was like, he talked about how he was in his first earthquake in 1993 in LA and how scared and terrified he was. But he didn't let himself scream. He deliberately didn't let himself scream because he's like, if I live through this, I don't want to live myself, knowing that I screamed just for fucking 35 seconds. Because in reality, the earthquake only lasts for 35 seconds. But that's not even the point I'm making. He was terrified. He said he grabbed all this different stuff, his keys, put on clothes because he just had on boxers at the time, grabbed like some weed and stuff because he thought he was gonna die. So he grabbed all this stuff just in case he needed to do whatever one last time, right? But whatever. So It lasted 35 seconds. And of course, he laughed at it afterwards, I'm sure. But he was terrified for that long. 35 seconds of sheer fear. Fear, guys. Fear. And then we watched somebody on camera put his knee on somebody's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and heard this guy plead for his life. Please. And of course I feel like everyone can kind of correlate with that and understand what I'm saying. But it's also different as a man. And you see that and you hearing that and seeing this guy call out to his mother who's dead before he passed. Dave Chappelle said something like, he only heard that one more time, one other time, and that when his dad on his deathbed, he called out to his mom, his grandmother, right? Hold on, I'm gonna turn my mic down a little bit. He called out to his grandmother, right? On his deathbed. And that was the only other time he heard a grown man do that. Makes sense. Because I've hardly heard that from a grown man. Pleading for his life. You heard that guy plead for his life. And you had your knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And all the cops just had their hands in their pockets like, ain't shit gonna happen. You think I give a fuck? And that's the fucked up part. Think about what that did to people. Just for 1 second. Think about what that did to people. Watching a grown man, and dude ain't extra small. He wasn't like massive, but he wasn't extra small. Not fighting against arrest at that time. Pleading for his life. You hear him saying, "Please, sir, don't kill me. Please." And then Chappelle went on to say, when he knew that he was gonna die when he pleaded out to his mother, that's not even living anymore. And now that when he say that, it makes you think about it, right? That shit tough. That shit tough, bro. And they really thought we were just supposed to be okay with this. But then he goes on to talk about Laura Ingraham. Does everybody know who Laura Ingraham is? Anybody? How many people I got in here? 5? Laura Ingraham. Laura Ingraham is a news reporter or anchor, whatever you want to call her, who basically she was the one that told LeBron James to shut up and dribble, right? Told these dudes to shut up and dribble. You weren't elected in politics or an official or educated and stuff. Oh, her? Yeah. That's who it is. Y'all need to shut up and dribble. That's Laura Ingraham. And if you know, you said fuck her, facts. She don't get she gets nothing over here. None. Fuck her. But if you know, she just recently went on to say something about Drew Brees has the right to his opinion about the whole kneeling during the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance and all that bullshit. So how does he get to have an opinion, but LeBron James has to shut up and dribble? Mind you, if I had to pick who's the fucking most successful guy and done the most for their community, it's probably LeBron James. It's more than likely LeBron James, right? Now, mind you, Drew Brees has done a whole lot for New Orleans and Louisiana with the hurricanes and all this other stuff. A whole lot. Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to take that from him. But to tell LeBron James to shut up and dribble, and he can do what the fuck ever, have an opinion on whatever, you already know what that is. And I don't got to say it live on stream. I don't care if you say it in the chat, but we already know what that is. She was feeling her power. She knows she can speak and knows to expand her speech. Well, but here's the thing, JT. Right. She does know that a lot of people was going to hear that. She's smart enough to know that, but she's smart enough, like I'm going to say about some of these other folks, specifically Candace Owens, when I get to her, to talk herself in a fucking hole. Right? Because you said she was feeling her power. So you telling this dude, LeBron James, because he doesn't have a college degree and he's black, that he needs to shut up and dribble? But in reality, you're just an average person. Like, are you more successful or more powerful than LeBron James? Do you think you're better than LeBron James? What are you better than LeBron James at? Let's talk about it. Huh? LeBron James is the best at the majority of the things that he does. Or at least top tier. Laura Ingraham, what are you the best at? Let me know right now. What are you the best at? I didn't know your name until you said that stupid shit. So with me, and let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it honest. The majority of the community that I'm in the black community, I only know you as the dumb bitch who told LeBron James to shut up and dribble. Let's keep it real. And I'm okay with saying that. I don't give a damn. That's what you known as. Right? So I don't even get how she thinks she has even the right to say that. That's pretty much it. Facts. Nobody knows you outside of that. Nobody. So you have no right to say that. None. Then Dave Chappelle goes on to talk about some other stuff, right? About talks about some other stuff. Then he kind of mentioned, I think is it Dylan Roof? That's the guy who shut up shut up that black church. Prayed with them, then shut up the black church, right? Which brings me to another point that I've made numerous times. I wasn't even supposed to bring this cup out for this. Numerous times. Is I really don't care what you did at all. And it's an unfortunate truth, right? It's an unfortunate truth. I don't care, and I don't need to know what law you did. I mean, what law you broke, what crime you committed, right? And I'm talking about at a base, lawful, we talking about law and enforcing the law. I don't care what you did. The police's job is to apprehend the suspect. Got it? Apprehend a suspect and take them into custody. Now, I'm not saying that police jobs and police work is not tough. I'm not saying it's not a dangerous job. I'm not saying it's not a hard job. Do not get me fucking wrong. Do not get me wrong. That is not what I'm saying. But your job is to apprehend and take a custody and suspect and put them through the legal process. That's it. That is it. I understand some situations are going to get shaky. I understand that. If somebody popping off in public and you can't de-escalate the situation, by all means, do what you got to do. But if you got Dylan Roof who's shooting up a whole church and you can bring him into custody and get that motherfucker a cheeseburger, I got a problem with that. What's up, TCB? What's good, bro? I got a problem with that. I got a big ass problem with that. When you can kill a dude because he allegedly, fuck it. Let's say he was using counterfeit bills. Let's say he was, what they said, using some fake checks or some stupid shit. Let's even say at first he was resisting arrest. And then you got him under control. It's like 5 of y'all. You said, what did I just come into? We talking about, Dave Chappelle had like a special on YouTube. It's called 846. It's still out. He dropped it late last night. I'm just discussing it. But, you know, we're just going over some stuff, and I'm speaking my mind. It's all love, though. Listen, anybody can speak in here, you know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't saying nothing crazy. I ain't talking to you specifically, TCB. But, yeah. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I ain't talking to you specifically, but, you know what I'm saying? As long as ain't nobody, you know, coming here talking crazy, you know what I'm saying? You already know we gonna grab their feet regardless. But where was I? Oh, their job is to apprehend and take you into custody. Dylan Roof shot up 9 people in a damn church, and they took him out in handcuffs with smiles on their faces, and gave him a cheeseburger on the way. When George Floyd allegedly was using some counterfeits and maybe resisted arrest for a minute or so, and y'all killed him. You put your knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds and listen to this guy say, I can't breathe, and you didn't give a damn with your hands in your pockets. That's what you did, dude. And I'm sure it's public knowledge now, but of course everybody fought for it to go from 3rd degree to 2nd degree murder. Did you know that they knew each other? And the public and the city was trying their best and their darnest to say that no, they just worked at the same place, but they never crossed paths. When it came out that they was, and turned out that the money was real, see, that's new to me. But at the end of the day, it don't damn matter. That's the thing. It really don't fucking matter whether it was real or not. But that just adds, more, whatever. Icing on the cake, I guess you should say. Crazy, right? Or more blood to it. How about that? I don't like icing on the cake in this fucking situation. But they knew each other and worked with each other as security guards. And it came out that, and I don't know how true this is, but from my understanding, this what happened is that they had bumped heads before. And I'm not saying that it was premeditated murder. But based off knowing that knowledge, wouldn't that make it 1st degree? Wouldn't that make 2nd degree murder? Generally defined as intentional murder that lacks premeditation is intended to. Okay, so maybe it is 2nd degree. No, you know what? No, hold on. But if he knew him and they bumped heads before, in most states, 1st degree murder is defined as an unlawful killing that is both willful and premeditated, meaning that it's committed after planning or lying in wait for the victim. I don't know. I really don't. That made me feel some type of way that you knew this dude and worked with him, and y'all had a problem before, but you caught him off out of his job, and you a police officer, and you kill him. I'm not gonna lie, that make me feel some type of way. I'm not gonna say it's premeditated. It do sound willful as fuck though. But I'm not gonna say it's premeditated. But I damn sure wouldn't pass, but it passes, dude. And if he got it, then oh fucking well. But moving right along. Like I said, police job is to apprehend and put you in custody. And they could have done that when they got his body under fucking control. They definitely could have done that. And then Dave Chappelle going to talk about this whole Candace Owens thing. He didn't really talk about it, but he mentioned Candace Owens, right? Has everybody heard Candace Owens and that stupid shit that she say? I didn't know her prior to her being an idiot, right? And like Dave Chappelle said, she's so goddamn smart that she's so damn smart. My bad. I was reading. But she's so damn smart that she knows very well how to make herself sound like an idiot. That's how smart she is. If you didn't know who Candace Owens was, I guess she writes books or columns or something like that. I don't fucking know. Like I said, I didn't know her before she opened her mouth. But she lived a pretty good, she's black woman. She lived a pretty good life. Married a white man for his money, allegedly. That's what I heard. Like I said, I don't know much. But she's well taken care of. Well taken care of. Always been well taken care of. And basically, her whole thing has been to not disprove isn't a word, but I guess I'm gonna have to use it. Disprove the whole George Floyd situation, and saying the black community should make him out as to be a hero, right? And the way she went about doing that was by bringing up his rap sheet. That he's got in trouble before, he's had a criminal past, he's done this, he's done that, right? Saying he's not a hero. So the black community shouldn't make him out as a hero. First and foremost, right? Dave Chappelle said it better than I could have ever said it. We not looking for no fucking heroes, bro. We're not looking for no heroes. But y'all keep doing this shit and y'all making them out of people. We didn't choose George Floyd. Y'all chose him by killing that man in the fucking street and putting your knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds while he pleaded for his life. Now, am I right or am I wrong? Is that not what happened? The black community or Black Lives Matter or whatever fucking else group wasn't like, oh, hey, yeah, George Floyd, you're the guy. Y'all did that. If y'all would just leave people the fuck alone, that wouldn't be the issue. And like I said, the black community is not looking for no damn heroes. We not. So she don't know what the fuck she's talking about. She's not even part of the community. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it a buck. You feel me? She's not. So what the fuck you talking about? Shut your mouth. Like he said, like Dave Chappelle said, she's talking about we looking for heroes and he shouldn't be a martyr. Nobody's trying to make him out to be a martyr. But y'all did kill him. And for no reason. So who really made him that? That man did not want to put his life on the line for this. He was not expecting to die. I'm sure he didn't want to die. If you're a martyr, you're giving your life for something. I don't think he wanted to give his life for that. Maybe looking back on it, he might not have a problem seeing that there has been a couple changes and, you know, a whole lot more awareness. But we weren't trying to make him out to be a hero. And back to what I was saying before, I don't give a damn about what he did. I don't. I really fucking don't. That's the thing. He didn't. He shouldn't have been killed on the street by police officers that are here to protect and serve. That should not have happened. It should not have happened at all. That's fucked up. And I don't know how people don't see that shit's fucked up. And what, four other cops watched him. I can't get with that. And I won't get with that. That don't sit right with me, and it never will. And that's just facts. Then Dave Chappelle went on, kept talking. It's short. It's like 27, 30 minutes long. About all this stuff is happening and stuff, and all this crap going on. This killing, this black person dead, that black person dead. This happened and that happened. Then black. Oh, I guess he was a Marine or he was in some service. He kills 9 cops. I guess it was in Dallas, right? He kills 9 cops. No. Before he did that, before he talked about that, it was at a point, this cop, he talked about how this cop and his partner, who was a white woman, said something along the lines of, well, they were on a, giving out warrants and stuff. It got shaky or whatever. And the white police officer did something that he didn't feel that was right. Maybe used too much force or whatever, right? Now he files a formal complaint, did it the right way. I don't think that's how this should have been handled. Finds out couple days, couple weeks, or a month or so later, he gets fired. Then he goes through all the appeals and stuff trying to get his job back. Nothing at all. So he lost his job, and this goes on. I mean, Dave Chappelle goes in depth and stuff. And now, y'all know how this goes. He writes a manifesto, right? He writes a manifesto about the bullshit that's going on. I think this was LAPD, possibly. He writes all this stuff, and he talks about how Dave Chappelle is a genius. I think he might have said Kevin Hart and somebody else. I didn't read it. I don't know the in-depth. I'm just going based off what he said. Says they're geniuses, right? And how, with all this being said, and they get to do whatever they want, he's going to wage asymmetrical war on the LAPD. That's what he said. So, no, I'm sorry. He said he was going to wage asymmetrical war on the LAPD and their families. That's what he said. So, y'all know how it is after that. He ambushed these 2 cops that was like sitting in a squad car or something like that. Ambushed them, killed this other cop, and then I guess he went to this other cop's house and, unfortunately killed one of his children. Now, that's terrible, right? I'm not saying that he should do that, or anybody should do that. That's horrible. That's horrible news. I hate to hear it. That's terrible, especially somebody's family, right? Terrible. But then the LAPD called him and was like, because that was, I guess, the same day as the Grammys or something, or some award in the past, and they was like, anybody that was named in the manifesto will get police escort from airports and wherever they need to go. He was like, "Nah, I'm good. He don't hate me. He hates y'all," which was funny. That was a ha 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 joke, but still, right? I go that to segue into. Then he talked about all these people kept passing away, kept getting killed by cops. And then this guy who was a veteran serviceman, black guy, goes and kills 9 cops. I think he said in Dallas, right? Crazy, hateful, right? But I'm gonna get to the kicker that made me think about what all this, right? Because that's usually what happens. Like the cop, I think he was ex. He was a veteran. I think. I'm not sure, but I think he was a veteran. If anything, he was a cop, right? And I think he was a cop for a while, if I'm not mistaken. My wife said there's a movie about that whole situation. I haven't watched it yet. I just might. But then more things happened. And more things happened. Oh no. The night of the 9 cops getting killed, they thought the whole world was about to end. But the only reason it didn't, because that was Kobe Bryant's last game. That was Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe. That was his last game. And everybody obviously was tuning in to see what he dropped 60 and how would Kobe's last game before retirement go. And that's what kept the world together, or at least our country. Which then again, if watching Kobe Bryant dribble fucking basketball keeps us from going crazy in this country because 9 cops just got killed by this black veteran, Laura Ingraham, you need to shut your mouth and never speak again on any of these cats or anything in general, because once again, that show us you don't know what the fuck you talking about. And I think Dave Chappelle said something along the lines of what I just said. That's what I'm saying. These people think they're so smart and talk themselves out of a fucking conversation just like that. I'm probably doing that myself right now. But oh well. Then I guess some other stuff happens. Some other unarmed black people not doing anything get killed. Then another black serviceman who's a veteran goes on to kill, I think, 3 cops in New Orleans. So we're trying to figure out, like, what is going on, right? Why are all these people that protected our country going around now, after all this stuff happens, goes and kills these policemen, right? And then Dave had a good point. Probably, more than likely, these guys think they are at war with acts of terror. Think about it. They've done this their whole lives. Their whole military careers is to protect our country and to fight against evildoers to the countries and acts of terror. Those are acts of terror, domestic terrorism against their people. Their people, right? So it would make sense. It would make a lot of sense that these guys were doing this. And it's an unfortunate situation. Like I said, I don't wish that on anybody at all. But I mean, it makes sense, right? Make a whole lot of sense. And I think that, I don't know, no, yeah. And then he goes on to talk about how there hasn't been a lot of people, black people, really invited to the White House that much. Then he gave you a timeline and say that how he he misspoke on SNL one time, how it was Frederick Douglass and then not anyone else until like Roosevelt was president. But he lied and was like, he misspoke because there was another person who from the delegation, the South Carolina black delegation, they were brought to the country on behalf of I guess William Dave Chappelle, I think that was the name, who was like his great grandfather, who was born into slavery, right? And he brought it out to say we act like this was so long ago when it wasn't. It really wasn't. And I know this, right? Because if anything, I kind of follow history just a tad. history's sake, slavery was yesterday. If we talking about history, that's not what 400 and some years ago, even 500 some years ago. That's not a long time at all when we talking about slavery. Not at all. Oh, if we talking about history, I'm sorry, not slavery, history. And that's not a long time. And even still, he was like, that is, I think he said his great grandfather, who he was named after, who he gets his name from, that he didn't know that until recently. That that's who his dad, no, and that guy's wife is his great grandmother, and that's who his father was calling out to, or his grandfather, whichever one. I guess his great grandfather. So I guess he said that's who his grandfather was calling out to on his deathbed. Y'all watch it. Y'all can correct me if you want. I might put this on YouTube. I might not. That's who he was calling out to. He heard somebody call out to these people who were born into slavery, fought out of it, and were still fighting the stuff that's going on now. Right? He heard this. Chris Rock just talked about it the other day. About how some of this stuff was going on. This shit was not that long ago. People act like this shit was forever ago, bro. It was not. It is not. It was not. Don't let anybody try to trick you to say that it was. Because it wasn't. Shit different, man. And they gotta stop doing that. I was gonna talk about this other situation, but I don't even. Maybe that's for another time. My wife sent me this news thing that was crazy as fuck. If y'all didn't know, protesters and rioters have took over the city capital in Seattle and kind of made it their own state, a state or whatever. And he tried to use satire and humor to make it funny and stuff and make light of it and shit. And he's racist and he has no clue and all that. But the whole time I was like, damn, this sounds like the American Revolution. And he started talking about how the conquistadors came over and took stuff. What up, Hood Fave, man? I'm going to get to the game in a second. But he talked about how the conquistadors came over and did this. And I was like, damn. But ain't it the same thing Christopher Columbus did? Christopher Columbus? But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. How y'all doing, man? I'm sorry.